a lot of people were doubting me. Thought I was either faking an injury or didn't want to play for a team. And that was disappointing to me that was out in the media. So me just, going through that and, I just knew that I have to make myself happy and no one else. And I have to trust myself. And it doesn't matter what anybody has to say about me. I know who I am as a person. I know how I feel. Just be able to win this championship this year is just something special for me. Because you know how the last year everybody was looking at me. And I stayed true to myself. And I had a great support system. And once I got here to Toronto, they understood everything. And the move kept moving from there.
Chris Broussard still hanging with us this morning. Chris, what do you think Kawhi proved this year?
I've got 4 things that he proved. Number 1, he is an all-time great. Not just this generation, he is an all-time great. He's the 3rd player ever to win Finals MVP with 2 different teams, joining LeBron and Kareem. That's a heck of a list. He's the 1st player ever to win Finals MVP in both the East and the Western conferences. And I can't recall, Skip, a player, I might be missing somebody, but I can't recall a player going to a team and in his first year leading that team to an NBA championship without other superstars. We can go back to the Boston Big Three when Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen went there in their first year. They won it, but Paul Pierce was there. That was the Big Three. That started the Big Three, the modern-day Big Three era. We can go back to Moses Malone in 1983, his first year in Philadelphia. Philadelphia had Dr. J. They had been to the finals the year before. So for Kawhi Leonard to go to a team of role players and win a championship in his first year, I got to...
Wait a second. Lowry's not a role player. Is that what you're talking about?
I think Lowry,
Lowry's a 5-time All-Star.
Look, with all due respect to Lowry, because he is very good, he's like Al Horford. He's not that upper tier All-Star.
But 5 times? That's hard to do.
In the East? Okay. Would he be an All-Star in the West?
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Is he a top 50? Is he a top 50? Is he a top 50 player all time, Skip?
Kyle Lowry?
No.
Is that who you're talking about? No. What are you talking about? Is he a top 50?
So he's got no.
Okay. Was Marc Gasol a former defensive player of the year? Was he not?
They're pretty. He's older too, though.
You just called him a bunch of role players.
They are.
Seriously?
At this point in their
Siakam
careers,
is verging on stardom. Next year he will arrive.
I will give you that, but he's not there yet. He's not there yet. Yeah. He's not there. Right. Regardless, it wasn't a Big Three. It's not a superstar-laden team. Second thing he proved is that he deserves to go into next season with that mythical title we give out of best player in the world. Now, will LeBron take it? We'll see. But going into next season with KD out, he deserves to go in as the best player in the world. He took out Philadelphia's star-studded lineup. He took out Giannis, who'll be the MVP.
Star-studded lineup didn't have Embiid. He was either hurt or sick every game.
He played 6 games.
We heard him.
No excuses. You out on the floor. And then he took down Goliath. Now, I know Goliath was all banged up.
Oh, wait.
But everybody else has been scared of Golden State for the last 4 years. People have been scared of him. He took them out. The third thing, and this...
Stop that, Chris. Stop saying that.
No, people didn't think they could beat Golden State. Now, this isn't something he really proved. I say Isaiah Thomas in Boston proved it, and Kevin Durant just proved it. But Kawhi Leonard is the epitome of this and the poster child for this. Don't always get a second opinion. Always get your own independent doctor to examine you. And don't let a team push you out there when you don't think you're ready. Because you know your body better than anybody else. And we saw what happened to KD, and we saw what happened to Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was going to get $100 million. He played last year for like $2 million. So Kawhi proved that. And then fourth, the beauty of playing the hand you're dealt, buying in. And I've said this to LeBron, about LeBron. Look, if they don't get Anthony Davis, buy into what you have. Go in there, buy into Fred Vogel, buy into Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Ball. say, I'm good enough with what we have, especially next year when Golden State's going to be a mess and it's going to be wide open, that you can win it. Kawhi went there, didn't worry about, I got to get another superstar. I got to get this guy. Play the hand you're dealt. He was no maintenance, not even low maintenance, no maintenance. And because you never know what can happen. Somebody can get hurt, obviously. And believe me, stop. Don't be recruiting during the season publicly. You can do it. Let the front office do it. You can advise them in the offseason. But during the season, this is what we got. I believe in my boys. Let's go. Especially if you the best player in the world.
I hope you're finished after all that.
He proved a lot.
Uncle Dennis might have hired you as their PR guy. I don't know. I never heard anything like that.
Go ahead, Skip. Yeah. Go ahead. I know you want to beat up on Kawhi some more, so I'm going to let you have it.
I just want to truth tell. Because, look, I used to be this guy's biggest fan. I used to sing his praises louder than you just sang them. On this show, I have to that guy, that big head in the monitor right there. And I used to tell that guy he has eclipsed, this is in 2017 playoffs, he's eclipsed your man LeBron James as the best two-way player in basketball. Maybe not the best player on the planet, but both ways, defense, offense, he's that guy. And all he proved to me over the last season, last calendar year, let's say, is that you can get your way in today's NBA by quitting on the team that taught you all that you know about how to be an NBA star. And it's highly offensive to me because I'm not buying for 1 second, because I've heard from too many horses' mouths. He exaggerated his thigh condition. He had a thigh bruise that they finally gave in to call tendinosis, because San Antonio is the most conservative, player-friendly medical staff in all of sports, and it ain't even close. And they let this guy get away with missing 20 games and 10 games and 15 games for various minor ailments because they are so patient in San Antonio. As you know, players come first there. Pop is always erring on the side of caution with every player's minor injury. And he took more and more advantage until Uncle Dennis took over all of his business and professional affairs and said, we got to get you out of there. We got to get you out from under Pop's thumb, and we got to get you either to New York or to Los Angeles. And they did so by exaggerating that injury to the point that they dug in and they pushed the Spurs. They forced their hands to finally say in January, after he'd missed 30 games, hey, you're making $18 million this is last year, $18 million. You owe us some games
19,
here.
But who's counting?
19, okay, whatever it was, 18 point something. And they publicly declared him fully capable of all basketball activity. And he did not like it because they called him out. They called his hand publicly. And so he dug in because he can be a big baby, and once he gets his way with him.
Stop it, Skip. See, now you're exaggerating.
No, he just is. I know him. I watched him for 7 years. And he got away with this because it went on. He missed 73 games until two Hall of Famers are left, but Duncan was involved in this too. Even though he's retired, he's still very close to the team. They all put him on the hot seat, and they said, we got a chance to make a deep run in these playoffs with Ginobili and Parker in their final good years in San Antonio. And they said, what you got? Are you with us or not? And he said, and I'm not ready to go. I'm still hurt. And Tony Parker then called him out the way Tony has never called anybody out and said, my injury, which was a ruptured quadriceps tendon, was 100 times worse than this guy's injury. That's all I needed to hear. That came from the mouth of a cinch Hall of Famer. And that was the end of that story.
Now, you know that you talk to people in San Antonio. I've always been told down there, the thing about Kawhi, since they drafted him, is that he's never wanted to play through like minor aches and pains. So that, I think that's in his character, that he if he's not 100%, some guys, Klay Thompson, obviously, will go out there and play hurt. I don't think it's weakness, but he just, that's who he is. He doesn't like playing. So I would believe that he was feeling some injury. And he got doctors to say he had a second.
Okay, but right? I told Shannon this. I spoke to one doctor who examined him who said, I believe it's all in his head. I heard it. And I'm going to stand by it because that's what I believe mostly. Did he have a thigh bruise that developed into some kind of, I don't know. But again, it's the kind of thing Shannon Sharp just plays through as an NFL player without even second thought about it. Okay.
But for the most part, football players are wired a little differently.
I'd say.
We saw it on this at our table. Sugar Ray Leonard came on and he said, "What? It's this. It's the mind."
Yep.
Because once you get to that level, all the guys are talented. So if Kawhi Leonard believes in his mind that he's hurt, it doesn't matter what doctors tell him how he should feel. At the end of the day, and you keep telling me, oh, the Spurs was poised to make a deep run. They were going to make a run so deep that Manu retired after the season, and then Tony Parker retired a year later. What kind of run are they going to make?
Shannon,
to the old folks home?
they were really
That's
good.
the only place they were going.
They were rolling.
No,
they
they
were good. They were good.
No.
And obviously, he was their best player, but they were poised.
Yeah.
And Chris argued with me the year before when Zaza Pacheep shot happened, but they had Golden State down in game 1 of the Western Finals at Oracle. They had them down 23 in the third quarter. And again, I'm singing his praises. I'm his biggest fan. And once he goes out, that's the end of that deal.
I do think Golden State would have won that series, but I tell you what we just saw does make you wonder.
All right.
It does make you wonder.
Okay.
Like, I'll give you that. It does make
right.
you wonder.
Okay.
And guess what else I wonder? I wonder when the Spurs think they're going to win another title without Kawhi. You think
we'll
they
see
wonder
about
that, Chris? I think that.
DeJounte is nice,
Kawhi
but he's
said,
not Kawhi.
We'll see
Fighting
about
words,
that.
Shannon Sharp. Fighting words.
We'll see. We still got LaMarcus. We still got DeMar. I don't know.
DeMarcus Aldridge, that guy that couldn't cut it up in Portland?
That guy.
Chris, thank you so much for being here.
man.
We appreciate it today. Coming up next, Anthony Davis. Is he guaranteed to be a Laker next season?
Good
We'll
question.